Parents, when did you realize your love wasn't enough to keep your child safe? My daughter was every father's dream. Up until the age of 16, she had no interest in dating. She never even had a crush from those boy bands Big Time Rush or One Root. Honestly, most men are so horrible that I would have been more than happy for her to move in and live happily ever after with her girl best friend, and maybe a few cats or something. But then came the day every parent dreads. She came home, and I noticed she was a lot more zoned out than usual, but not in a teenage depression sort of way. Her cheeks were flushed, and there was a spark in her eye. My paternalistic instinct kicked into overdrive. I knew it was a boy, but I also knew something else. By mentioning the B word, she would instantly go into teenage mode and completely ignore me, so I pretended to not notice, and she bought it. Because every day she made it more and more obvious. She was putting 10 times more effort into her outfits, spending more money on makeup, smiling at her phone. And I know what I said before, but regardless, I was happy for her. And one day my dream finally came true. Well, kinda. Because she asked me for boy advice. It made me cringe inside that my baby girl was growing up. But at the same time, I was glad she wanted me to be a part of her new grown-up life. Hey dad, how do you know if a boy likes you? She asked innocently. Honey, most men are idiots. They are simply incapable of hiding their emotions. So if you're unsure, take that as your sign that he doesn't. I'm not unsure, I was just asking. I sighed and stayed silent. The usual procedure for when my daughter gets possessed by the evil demon also known as teenage hormones. A few minutes later she started smiling again, and the tension in the room automatically cleared. The feeling can only be compared to a sunrise on a summer's day. Oh, the joys of being a father. Over the next few days, I knew things were progressing between her and the mystery boy, because she was coming home later, 6 p.m. instead of 4, with no plausible explanation. I was going to let her come to me, but then she came home with a purple mark on her neck, wearing a skirt that shouldn't have even passed the school dress code. She looked down at the ground, like she knew what was coming next. Honey, who is this boy you're seeing? I don't want to talk about it, she pouted. And I guess she saw the look of worry on my face, because that's when she continued. Dad, he treats me well. He buys me nice things, makes me feel special, isn't married. I mean in a relationship. He isn't in a relationship, and I think he loves me. I raised an eyebrow. Married? What the F? She went super red before walking into her bedroom and slamming the door shut. I rested my chin on my hand. Something wasn't right. I know 16-year-old boys, and I know they're broke as heck. Plus, my daughter usually prides herself on never making slip-ups while she talks. An awful gut feeling washed over me. I immediately shot up and walked over to the family iPad. You see, I noticed years ago that its camera roll was synced up to my daughter's. Obviously, I never told her this. Usually when I click on it, I just see dozens of screenshots from Instagram or Snapchat messages involving trivial drama with her friend group, or the occasional flower crown selfie. But this time, I saw something much darker, because sitting right there in the recent photos was her and her boyfriend. She was sitting on his lap. This would have been fine, except I recognized his face. It was Mr. Dalton, her English teacher. Suddenly it all made sense. The extra smiles in the parent-teacher conferences, his constant praise of my daughter. In the parent group chat, they were recently talking about how we should get him a gift to celebrate his oncoming retirement. Bile rose in my throat. I wanted to grab her phone, find his address, and beat his A until his brain was minced meat on the sidewalk. But I knew this was a sensitive situation, and I didn't want my daughter to never trust me again. So instead, I walked to her bedroom and knocked on the door. When she said I could come in, I gently entered and sat on the other side of the bed. I was ready to take full advantage of her. Darling, I just want you to know I support you no matter what. I hope you and your boyfriend are happy together, and let him know that I wish all the best for him. Her face lit up, just as planned. Thank you, Dad. You're the best. She then gave me a huge hug and promised me she'd tell her boyfriend. As soon as I left her bedroom and shut the door, I almost collapsed. I was so disgusted, and putting on this front was culling me, but I knew it had to be done. And like clockwork, the next day, Mr. Dalton texted me. His message was very warm. Good afternoon, sir. Just wanted to let you know Ava has been performing brilliantly in class this week, and I wanted to send you my utmost respect for how you raised her. We texted for a while, and I asked if he wanted to meet for dinner, and that sick scumbag agreed, not knowing it would be his last meal. The rest of the full story is on my channel and linked below.